Hey! And you should have seen at the little store I bought this at. Now, it was not from people who specialize in Indian instruments. This was more like all kinds of imports, masks from Africa.
Other angles, yeah.
Oh. Masks from Africa, fabrics and crystals and statuettes and things from Asia and all over the world. And they had a couple of sitars in the back. And one of them was bigger, but it was broken. The gourd was cracked. That often happens, I've been told, by 2 or 3 different people, because these gourds are delicate. It's not so much the main part here, it's the gourd, the sounding gourd. This is a small sitar. Many sitars are much bigger than this. Much bigger. And often it will have like a second gourd attached as a sound resonator and have a much wider bridge with more strings. Even though I've tried, well, back when I was a teenager I used to listen to Ravi Shankar records, and I over time acquired a taste for listening to Indian musics. As a form of music, it's actually pretty darn complex, mostly in the rhythms more than anything else, but they also have rules about scales and what you play on the scales and all that, and I respect their traditions very much, but at the same time I decided, well, heck, I'll never be another Ravi Shankar, or, there's some others. I have several CDs by a guy named Nikhil Banerjee, who used to live right across the bay, and he is considered another pundit in their tradition, and I love his stuff too. There's people who can play ragas on all kinds of instruments, on the shanai, which is a kind of a nasally sounding flute, and on other instruments. But I love the sitar in general for its sound, for the possibilities it opens up. I'm basically kind of partly an avant-garde composer or decomposer or whatever, and I just sort of play with instruments sometimes. Should have heard me yesterday banging away on this lovely old piano that's gradually falling apart. A lot of keys don't work anymore. And there I was, still gamely trying and working at it. And it made for some interesting sound effects, at least. And I did get some praise from some of the people who I was playing it for. But I kept thinking, that poor piano. And I'm like one of those abstract painters who slops the paint around and tries this, tries that. Sees what happens with the music. I mean, yeah, I can play some things with chords and structures and all that, but sometimes I like to just go wild. And I think, hell, what's punk rock doing talking about anarchy when they're so anal retentive about their own music structures? Their music isn't all that anarchic. If it were, it'd be splintering off in all kinds of chords and directions and rhythms and really disobeying the quote laws of music. But they are far more rigid than they think they are.
Hi.
This is not my bedroom. This is a room where I do some entertaining of certain guests. This is also like when my niece was here visiting. She's in her mid-teens. She had to get away from her family. She spent the weekend here and got to do her writing and drawing, cartoons and stuff. This is where I watch DVDs. Sometimes. Speaking of which, since this is a gourd, actually, and this is a pumpkin, gourds and pumpkins are closely related to each other, as you can tell. Family resemblance. I was with some of my Food Not Bombs co-workers yesterday in Berkeley, and we were driving around, and at one point we passed by some Hare Krishna type people, and although I'm fascinated by Hinduism in certain ways, I'm not really religious, I'm just fascinated intellectually and psychoculturally. Oh, and we passed by the Hare Krishnas, and I happen to mention that Krishna is my least favorite of the Hindu pantheon. And I said to them how he looks like Michael Jackson after eating 666 boxes of blueberry. You could associate that also with that scene in Willy Wonka, the girl who turns into a blueberry. Let's see, I've got sitar settings on here too. Number 35. I'm going to pretend this is like a harmonium. And key of F. Like I said, I'm not interested in Krishna. There are better gods in their pantheon. So
What were you just playing?
Oh, I was just sort of doing a little Hindu-type chant to three other gods in their enormous pantheon. To the fire god Agni, the moon god Chandra, and the war god Kartikeya. Those are the gods I much, much more prefer than silly Krishna and his blueberry stains on his face. Besides, the Hare Krishna people are very rigid and corrupt, and I think all religions need a good kick in the pants now and then. A really good kick in the pants. This room is also where I have my little window garden. I just brought in some more plants last night from Berkeley. So I've got here kalanchoes, they're blooming, poinsettias, little Christmas cactuses. I've got this plant that's originally from Southwest Africa. It's called a string of pearls. I used to have one or two other ones in the past, but they died off, so to say. This is what's called by the Chinese a money tree. Yeah, I had picked some very nice little
What is the money tree again? Anyway.
This is the money tree. Yes, the Chinese, they think of it as a lucky tree.
Cool.
These little Christmas cactuses, they were so darling when I saw them. And I brought them home with me. And they got jostled around and a lot of the blossoms fell right off. Wah! I was horrified, but I was able to kind of, well, do what I could. I mean, what else could I do with them, you know? So now they're home, safe and sound in their new home, and hopefully they'll stay and thrive in the slatted sunshine. Well, it's not going to be sunny today or this weekend.
Or till Wednesday, for that matter, probably.
No, it's going to be a rainy last week of autumn, first week of winter. But hell, that's what I like. Everybody else I know, well, in most cases, they say, oh, we want sunshine, sunshine. I say, you already have 360 days of sunshine here in the Bay Area. Give us a little rain, too. You know, I like rain. I like gray. I like cool weather. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but neither is the sun shining to death. They ought to rename the Bay Area Death Valley Underwater or something like that. Oh God, it's even worse in Los Angeles and San Diego. Hardly any rain at all. I should be living up in Seattle or Portland. Those are nice towns. At least I got to see Portland a little bit. God, that was years ago. Pretty Portland. Beautiful looking city. Oh, and we have all kinds of neat visual things we could look at. You might want to do a close-up of, say, this.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I have all these books where they've got all kinds of neat Oriental and other sorts of things that you can trace or Xerox or whatever you like with them, and I've wanted to go through these a bit more. And let's see, I've just got all kinds of nice stuff in here, all kinds of neat stuff.
Cool.
I also have, let's see what else here. Floral spot illustrations. Why not? I like flowers and plants. Flowers and plants. Nice flowers and plants.
Chinese stuff was cooler, but that's cool. Or unless it wasn't Chinese, but it's Japanese and Chinese are letters are related anyway, aren't they? Kinda, originally.
Okay, the Chinese came up with a writing system a long time ago, and then the Japanese picked up on it. But they also altered it a little bit for their own use. Seashore life, shorebirds.
Wait, let me see. I was going around looking at other stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
I also have things like different font alphabets. This is like a lot of 19th century type stuff mostly. Very ornate, the kind of stuff that drove the modernists batty.
Wah.
Yeah.
Crimea River, buddy.
It was like, oh, please, this is too much. You know, their parents and grandparents and great grandparents grew up loving, you know, all this falderall and all that, and they were saying, "Can we
Kinda
please
cool,
have a
actually.
modern age? Can we have streamline?" And
It's kind of cool, actually.
yeah.
Fonts like Blackadder is one of my favorites. I love Blackadder and calligraphy and.
Ooh, look at that eyeball. Ooh.
Hold it straight so I can
Sure.
zoom in on it. It's upside down, but I don't
I
care.
know, I put it that way on purpose. Big brother is coming to town. You better watch
Okay,
out.
I'm good. I got
You
it.
better not protest. You better not barely breathe, and I'll tell you the rest, because Big Brother is watching from above and below and around every corner.
And his nan might say, okay.
More alphabets
Yeah.
here.
I'm trying to
These are some
hold
nice jaunty alphabets. Kind of Coca-Cola-ish alphabets. Sometimes in the past I've photocopied these, shrunk down, and I've taken that and had it reproduced like in just like one or two colors so that I could have alphabets like in orange or whatever. Let's see. Oh, can I find? Or is that one? Okay, is that one? Ha ha ha. Some nice Japanese stuff. You've been to Japan.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us about a little bit about Japan. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about Japan.
I don't know, the tape's running out, but I'm just recording till it dies.
Nihon no Kevin.
Konnichiwa, Kevin desu.
Arigato.
I just said, hi, my name is Kevin, and you said thank you. I was like, okay.
Well, tape-san, sayonara tape, if you're going to be with us or not for another minute or so. Oh, where's another good one? Here. Where's
No idea. I mean, when it says tape end, it's sort of like tape end, okay, it's over, you know.
Oh boy, well.
It's not like the only freaking tape I have.
That's the way the ball crumbles.
Already shot that. Go.
Yep. I'm a busy little artist. A lot of the junk in this room is actually the raw ore for future artwork stuff.
The ore for core?
Well, the ore for my Bible in progress and things like involving cut up, newspaper cut up, and pictures and collages and whatnot that I rearrange into things more to my interest or expressive need or whatever. Oh yeah, and then these red and green things and black are various Cope and Tome at CDR Masters and some of the artwork and whatever. I might as well open up one of them at least and show off our proud heritage. Our proud heritage. You might fondly remember from our days, Marco Polo!
Cool. It's good in there. Remember Marco Polo. I don't have a copy, hint hint, but I actually I don't have a copy of almost everything, hint hint.
Yeah, I know, that's why I gotta get you Chinese New Year presents. Because I'm too broke to afford to make Christmas presents for anybody.
Or at least burn I could